Hello everybody, it's me Lamani, or should I say one of the only legitimate New World creators left out there on the YouTubes. There's a couple of you out there, I respect you and appreciate you. But what am I starting off your week with this week? I think it's going to be important that I touch on this early in the week. I want to give you a February patch prep guide. So what kinds of things should you be doing to actively get ready for the oncoming patch, which I believe will be coming later this week. More stuff will be coming on that later, but what types of things? I'm just going to give you my top couple things that I'm actively doing that will set you a little bit ahead of the rest and just give you what you should expect for this upcoming patch. Now, before we get started, I want to say thank you all for your support. Thank you to every single one of you for watching the content, continuing to support me in New World, watching the live streams, everything you do. As always, follow us on Twitch. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Go for about 5 hours. Follow our Discord, Twitter, TikTok, and if you want to support me directly, feel free to hit up my Patreon. I do early content releases, ask for extra input, all kinds of stuff over there. But as always, if you need me, feel free to leave a comment, DM me. Yeah, we've had a lot going on, so I'm sorry, but haven't been like super responsive. I got engaged. Dog's been a lot, work's been a lot, everything's been a lot, but here I am making New World content and I'm ready. Now, last thing, Eden is a mess. So Citrus Tree, we're actively doing some new stuff. You can see I'm behind a Governor's desk here because we now own Cutlass Keys, okay? Eden, a lot of people have transferred off, all right? We're starting new. If you want to join the Citrus Tree, get things going on Eden, you should all have server transfer tokens. It's a fresh start. Come on over. It's going to be a ton of fun. But let's get into the video. All right, so what is the first thing I would suggest doing in preparation for this patch? Well, if any of you read the patch notes, you'll see that Smelter gear is in the game. Now, how do we actually acquire Smelter gear? So, if you've been playing the game, you have these little aptitude levels, okay? I'm currently at 2. But as we level up, you'll be getting different tier containers. What's going on with the Smelter gear? Well, Smelter gear drops only out of tier 3 or higher smelting material containers. Why is Smelter gear big? Because it's not in the game yet. This is going to be the first edition of Smelter gear, meaning nobody has it. So you can sell it for bonkers money, I'm sure, because the tier 3 crates do take some time. You can use it and get more Asmodium and make a ton of extra gold. Smelter gear will be worth it because Asmodium is the hottest refining material out there. And it's just going to be big if you want to craft more gear, do whatever. So what would I suggest doing right now? Well, 1, keep making your daily cooldowns and just stockpiling your tier 3 or higher smelting material containers. Also, what you could be doing is if you're on a lower pop server like me at the moment, Eden, start farming Orichalcum and Star Metal and just grind aptitude levels by smelting all of this. All right? Trying to get and force those containers will be big. If you can run the smelter container market early and get that smelter gear, you could make a pretty penny, sell it early, and then, buy it at like a later time and still get some good use out of it. So I would suggest either just forcing some smelts or hoarding whatever you're getting passively, and either way it's going to work out well for you in the future. All right, what's the second thing I would suggest doing? Now, some people might think I'm a little bit crazy, but do all of your daily gypsum grinds, meaning do your rubies if possible if you're getting OPRQs. Get your obsidian, diamond, and topaz gypsum by going over to Old Ebonscale Reach, teleporting to here, and going into the Skysong Crypt. I have a video on this. If you want to go back in the channel, hit this boss up, farm him up, run the little rotation, kill the ghosts. You'll get topazes, you'll get diamonds from your juniper bags, and you'll get obsidian gypsum from this boss guy right here who's very, very easy to solo. You can also go and run portals, get those. You'll get some from running expeditions and doing all that stuff. And then the other one that's just super easy that I also made a guide on, cooking. You can get a really easy emerald one if you don't have anything maxed out. So we just do something like this. All of these materials are pretty cheap for the most part. And then you just craft it. I do this at least once a day. Sometimes I just force containers depending on prices. And boom, I have my emerald gypsum. So why am I forcing gypsum? Well, that's because of Umbral Shards. Okay, I should have prefaced this earlier, but you get a ton of Umbral Shards now. So right now, if you are a 600 geared player and you create a cast and you open it up, everybody knows that you get Umbral Shards, right? But right now, if you are 600 and you open up one, you will get 3 Umbral Shards. Now, if you max out your gear and you're opening up one that's 625, you'll get 200 Umbral Shards. So that's a significant difference to the point where you should be stockpiling these casts and never using them. Now, what they're doing on the PTR update that should be going live soon is they are making the range 100 shards base to 400 shards max, meaning as soon as you hit 600 and you open up any cast that you have, you will get 100 shards. Okay, so if you are somebody who's a fresh 60 and you have not, done anything else and you have just hit 600 gear score, do not open any of your casts at the moment. Honestly, even if you're anybody at any gear score right now, don't open up your casts until the patch hits. So just craft whatever you want. Typically shoot for your highest pieces if you've been upgrading things. But I'm going to just do something like a life staff here, and I'm just holding on to mine. Just keep holding on to them. This will be super worth it come patch, so that when you're opening up these, you aren't getting 3. You are literally getting over 33.33 repeating times more shards if you were baseline 600 compared to now. So stockpile those and it'll really help you in the future. All right, this next thing I want to talk about pertains to OPR and PvP. If a lot of you aren't PvPers, we'll hold on a moment. This might still be appealing to you. 1, come patch day, you will now get Umbral shards on win or loss. So you'll see a lot more people spamming. So pro tip, if you're a fresh 60, don't want to waste mutator keys, just start spamming OPRs. You'll get 50 on a loss, 100 on a win. It'll be a great way just to force gear to like 615 and start blowing through mutators. Now the real thing though that I wanted to hold on to in preparation for the patch, if you're on a server where you get a ton of OPR queues, start stockpiling your OPR caches. Now, why are we doing this? Well, they're making it so some of the best in slot PvP gear will drop from Outpost Rush caches. They're getting rid of like that garbage Beast Ward gear and anything that is just absolutely not necessary or pertinent to anything that you're doing in New World. These caches will be sick when patch drops. The other thing with those OPR caches is that they will give you more expertise bumps. So if you are a player who's just doing OPR, hold on to these. They should be better come patch day, assuming that these will be retroactive and still work with whatever caches that you have now. So if you're an OPR player, doesn't hurt to hold on to them. I wouldn't say just go out of your way and start spamming queues. If you're bored, if you're doing OPRs, hang on to them just to be safe, because you could be getting some really, really sick loot if you keep them. So that's my pro tip. All right, my next tip in some of this downtime, level up some professions or trade skills to 200, some of the crafting ones, whether it's arcana, it's armor smithing, weaponsmithing, whatever you have, so that you could force a 600 roll. Now you have 2 options. You can either sell your rolls, to people out in the world and just say, hey, Lamani's Chobani, I'm selling arcana stuff, okay? You could do that, or be ready, stockpile materials, and force some 600 crafts. I don't have the recipes, but there are some really cheap ones like a life staff here that you can force the recipe and it's automatically 600. And when you craft, you automatically get Umbral shards. So they are raising it based upon your own gear score from 1 to 85 to 25 to 100, meaning at least baseline, if you're a fresh 600 player, you will at least be getting 25 Umbral shards now. Is that worth to really force crafts? No, but if you're kind of hanging on to materials, I would suggest doing it. If you're really bored right now, force a crafting thing and you could just be getting some extra Umbral shards on the side. So that's just another option as well. Now, this next one pertains to any fresh 60s or people who maybe just haven't finished Shattered Mountain or Reekwater quests. You have a couple chains, you got some stuff going on there. I'm not sure how the daily ones that'll work or the repeatable ones, but the most recent addition of the PTR is actually making it so we get some gypsum orbs from doing Shattered Mountain and Reekwater quests. So if you haven't done those, don't do them now. Wait until after the patch goes live so that you can have some extra gypsum, some extra Umbral shard potential, and don't clear the board. If you're bored right now, go find something else to do, level a trade skill, do some of these other boring quests in the middle or something like that. But save your Reekwaters and save your Shattered Mountains. This is really going to be great for a fresh 60 or somebody who just hasn't touched these zones. And my final prep guide tip pertains to this beautiful faction vendor right here. As you all know, we can buy keys from him, right? We can buy expedition keys, we can buy all kinds of crafting stuff. Now, why am I here? Save your tokens or start farming more tokens right now. Why? Well, for starters, one, you'll be able to buy some gypsum orbs as a catch-up mechanic that they're adding into the game. So if you don't want to waste them, don't just go willy-nilly burning other things. Try to stock them up a little bit, but I understand if you're capped. But 2, we need to start farming up more because they're going to allow us to buy mutated expedition tuning orbs every 3 days instead of every week, meaning we have more orbs coming in so that we can actually run more keys. So Start taking advantage of that, farm up your tokens now, and you will be good to go as a level 60. All right, everybody. So that's all I have for you today. This is Umbral Shard, expertise, gold making, mutators, all kinds of stuff that you can take advantage of before this patch goes live, hopefully this week or next week, and we'll be here to cover it. Again, I'm here on the New World train. I'm ready to go. I'm sticking it out. I will be here. So I appreciate the legitimate New World support. I'm not going to just release New World dead garbage content. All right. I'm here as a New World content creator, and I'm here to stay. Anyway, as always, please keep doing that weird YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, tell your grandma, your grandpa, everybody you know. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, join the Discord, support me on Patreon if you'd like to. But as always, thank you to every single one of you beautiful people that continue to play this game, that continue to support it and believe in it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you to every single one of you for being you.